Hi, if you have a 1998 Land Rover Discovery 1 LE with a 4.0 engine, you may want to subscribe to my channel. I try to post at least once a week simple repairs that you can do yourself on your Land Rover. And if you're new to my channel, I would like to take the time out to say welcome and hope to see you again and again. But before we get started, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell. Believe it or not, this helps me continue making these videos. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is place a large pan or drain pan under your engine, where once you disengage the hose, you're going to have antifreeze come out, and you're going to have more come out once you take off the housing for the thermostat. So do that first so you don't get it all over your driveway. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to pop the hood, and you're going to locate your housing for your thermostat, and it's right here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the hose where the red arrow's at, and we're going to remove 2 bolts right where the 2 arrows are at. So let's go ahead and remove the hose first. You can use a flat screwdriver, or you can use a 5/16 socket. I got this little screwdriver that I can connect the socket to the end of it, plus it bends. It really helps when you're getting it tight places. Go ahead and remove the hose. Once you have the hose removed, you're going to take your socket and a short extension and use an 11mm socket to remove the 2 bolts. Once you have the 2 bolts removed, the thermostat housing should come out pretty easy. If not, jerk it with your hands or lightly use your screwdriver to pry it open. There you go. Here's your housing, and here's your old thermostat. Now, what I did was take some lacquer thinner and clean the whole housing, but what you need to do is take a putty knife and scrape off all this old glue or sealant. You want to do this to the housing and also to where it attaches to the engine. Get it as clean as best you can. Okay, now I'm going to use this anti-seize lubricant. And what this does is it prevents the bolts from seizing up into the engine where it's hard to take the bolts off. This prevents that. So if you ever, for whatever reason, need to remove it again, it'll be easy to do. All I do is just rub it all over the threads on both bolts. Okay, now I'm going to apply this gasket sealant. This helps bond the gasket to the housing and to the engine. This also helps to prevent any small leaks. The first thing I do is rub a lot in onto the housing. Then I place the gasket on. Then I rub a bunch of it on the gasket itself. You can never put too much of this stuff. Once done, I go ahead and put the bolts in to keep the gasket in place while I install the housing to the engine with the thermostat in place. Okay, this is the thermostat I'm using. It's called a fail-safe thermostat. If you don't know anything about this thermostat, click above on the right-hand corner and it'll take you there. If you're using a conventional thermostat, if it ever fails, you're going to be stuck in the middle of nowhere. So click above so you can get more information about this thermostat. You'll be glad you did. Okay, here's some important information. When you install the thermostat, you need to make sure that the spring side, the one with the large spring on the right side, is in the engine. That's the one thing you need to remember. Make sure the spring is inside the engine. Okay, let's go ahead and install the housing with the thermostat. Okay, as you can see, I'm correctly putting the thermostat into place. There's a little lip in there. You just need to make sure it's in the proper position. Next, I'm taking the housing, putting in its place, and screwing it into place. Even though I'm using a battery-powered ratchet, I'm screwing the bolts lightly. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to torque down the bolts. The torque wrench I'm using is from Harbor Freight. I picked it up for about, 150 bucks. If you don't have one, these are real handy. It takes out all the guesswork. Factory says it needs to be at 7.5 foot-pounds, so that's what I'm going with. Now if you don't have a torque wrench, just torque on it really good, but not too crazily tight, if you know what I mean. Just a good firm snug. Okay, looks like we're done putting our thermostat with our housing to factory spec. Now all we have to do is install the hose. Now, it's a good habit to replace the hose clamps with new ones. So that's what I did. Just go ahead, connect your hose, and tighten up your hose clamp. Once you got your hose clamp in, go ahead and fill your reservoir with new antifreeze and you're all done. What I would do is drive it around for a block or two and then check your fill tank. Make sure you have enough antifreeze in there. And I would check it off and on every day for the next week or so to make sure that it's filled to the top. Also, while filling it, don't forget to squeeze the hose to get any air out. Anyway, see how easy that was? And you were able to do this for less than $30. Okay, well I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was very informative. Please check out my other how-to videos. Oh, and check out my new website. There's new items being put in there every day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course, hit the bell. Until then, we'll see you at my next video. Bye!